throughout the evening on ESPN, and so glad that you're with us here. NFL Live, guys, we've made it to the Super Bowl. Marcus Spears, Mina Kimes, Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky. It's good to see everybody, and yes, we did coordinate our outfits. Look at that.
Hey, Boogie.
What's up with the jacket, the leather jacket?
He looks stylish.
First of all, shout out to my dog, RC, for the plug.
Oh.
That's number one. Andre Julius made this.
And my dog clean.
And I got some more.
Great.
Yeah, some more.
All right, so the fits are going to be popping here
Friends
at Super Bowl
doing things for friends. That's what life is
That's
about.
what they call it is people helping people.
That's the motto of our show, unless it applies to you.
All right.
Just kidding. All right, let's get right into the Super Bowl. And for that, we welcome in Sal Palantonio, who's going to be with us throughout the week, of course. And Sal, you are with the Patriots. You're just at the team hotel. What is the latest on Drake Maye and that shoulder and the Patriots' mood?
Well, the Patriots have the day off. Very relaxed mood here at the Patriots Hotel in Santa Clara. We were just in the team hotel, and we saw a number of players get in cars and take off for the day and enjoy the day. It's a beautiful day here, as everybody knows, here in the South Bay, approaching 70 degrees, and they're happy to have the day off because it's back to work tomorrow on Wednesday at Stanford in Palo Alto for the first big practice of Super Bowl 60 week. But yesterday, on Monday, Drake Maye threw the football and was happy with his progress on his right shoulder. Listen to this.
That'll be just fine. Yeah, I threw a good bit. I threw as much as I would in normal practice, and felt great. And looking forward to getting back out there in the Wednesday and Thursday for practice again, and Friday, and get ready to get a normal week of prep.
Now, it's important to note that there was no pool reporter yesterday. Customarily, no pool reporter on Monday. So you didn't have a reporter to go out there and see how he was throwing, but I was told by everyone here that he looked good and that he was throwing freely with no problems. But on Wednesday, tomorrow, there will be a pool report, and we'll get an update on Drake Maye. We'll also get an injury and practice report. And I didn't go with the leather coats or jackets. I went with the cardigan, a little old school. Since this is my 34th Super Bowl,
Stylish.
I decided,
There you go.
get that relaxed look,
Sal, you can't hide class, and you got it going on. We love to see it.
Sal always look good.
I love it. And only
Well
Sal
put
would
together.
tell you about the pool reporter. That's not a swimming pool, okay? That's just a reporter that reports for everybody. All right, during the regular season, the Seahawks defense had the 5th best pressure percentage in the NFL. We want to spend some time on this. More than a third of all opponents' dropbacks. In the playoffs, they've actually upped their game there a little, but they are blitzing far less. That could spell an issue for Drake Maye, who is getting sacked 5 times a game this postseason. Mina, when you look at this matchup, specifically between that Seattle D-line and the Patriots O-line, how much trouble is Maye in?
It's concerning. I mean, Drake Maye's taken so many sacks, and I think what's most concerning is of those 15 sacks, 11 have come with just a 4-man rush. As you laid out, Seattle doesn't blitz very much outside of 3rd and long, and the 4-man rush has been really good. It's different from the ones New England has faced. It's not like Houston where they're just kind of the dominant edge rushers, but I think they're built in a way to take advantage of some of the, I would say, the core problems that have plagued the Patriots. So the left side of the Patriots offensive line has been an issue. It's very young. Seattle, maybe they don't have a dominant edge rusher, but they're so good at overloads and also moving their pieces around the defensive tackles, Leonard Williams in particular, aligning him to basically hunt your weakness. And then the other thing they do is they speed you up. They may not blitz a lot, but they sure as hell make it look like they're going to blitz.
Buddy.
So as a quarterback, even though only 4 are coming, you're constantly thinking, oh, shoot, we got, there's an overload on the left side. I got to get this ball out hot. And then you don't, and then suddenly you got big bodies in your throwing windows. So even if the 4-man rush, they don't have Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter Jr., you could argue they're just as dangerous in a different way.
Yeah, those 15 sacks are the most a quarterback has ever had that's made it to the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
The most. I think Joe Burrow a couple years ago had that 13 and made it. So realistically, the New England Patriots, because of all that, shouldn't even be here when it comes to at least that statistic. I think we get caught up in talking about pressures or fronts, and we only think it's passing situations and 3rd downs. When you're going against Seattle, it has to be an every down thing for New England. So, number one, how do they handle the interior part of their defensive line? Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams, I think you got to trap them. I think you got to wham them in the run game. That's going to be a big deal. I think, 2, you got to screen them and draw them on 2nd downs. This defensive front, if you just allow them to play one-dimensional, they're going to get after you. I think the third thing is, you talked about the overload, Mina. I think you always got to send numbers to the overload and chip the backside. You have to help. And obviously it's all tied together. But if New England thinks, oh, we'll just have a focus of pressure or front on third down, the first and second down, you get eaten.
But also
alive.
those pressure release valves, they tackle so well. So you get the ball out in space and suddenly the guy's being taken down.
Well, the hybrid helps them play that way, Nick, Warrior.
Sure.
But I'm a RC, this you.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh,
RC.
wait, I thought Marcus was going.
No, listen, it doesn't matter. We're living free and loose.
You know, I just said something.
Scary, but
Honestly, when you look at this team, they pressured at the third lowest rate of any team in all of the NFL. And you saw the numbers, only 13% in the playoffs. But I want them to up that, especially on third and long, because Nick Eamon is such a large piece of what they can do up front. Here, this is the middle of the season, and you're going to see them bring Nick Eamon into position to blitz, and we're going to drop Drake Thomas, and he's going to be the vertical hook. You see here, because of the way they align, the threat of pressure to the top of the field, Tyler Algier goes left first, and he's too late to get back down to get to Nick Eamon. Now you're going to see Julian Love, who is healthy once again. And this is just a five-man rush. It's a fire zone, so you can have eyes on Drake Maye, and it gives them an opportunity to put pressure on the quarterback before he can identify where the open man or the vacated zone is. And once again, bringing Nick Eamon and Kobe Bryant from the bottom of the screen, and you're going to add Tyree Snipe to the blitz, and it's a free hitter on Jacoby Brissett. When you look at what the Patriots have dealt with in the playoffs, it has been a ton of four-man rush, but I do believe on third and medium to long, you can get pressure on Drake Maye and maybe force him into some mistakes.
Would you do it on early downs, though, first and second for Seattle?
Well, it depends on the way that Josh McDaniels is calling the game. He's played everything so close to the vest in the playoffs because they've played so well defensively. And so you're going to have to get into run blitzes if you're going to blitz on those early downs.
Speaking of that, I mean, look, the opportunistic shots is what stands out for me with this offense. They've been able to convert in critical situations, critical down and distance, and it is quite frankly, it was why they won games.
Oh, yeah.
Both of these games in the playoffs. How will you be able to eliminate that? I use the Houston Texans defense because I remember Puka Nacua running a crosser and being open against Seattle. Will the DBs make these plays or will they give up these plays? And that to me is what Seattle is. You're not going to methodically move the ball on Seattle's defense.
Right.
You have to be explosive. And that's why we left the game last week when they played the Rams. Those were explosive offensive plays that they were able to score on or either getting down in distance. New England has kind of lived on that edge here for the last two playoff games that they've been in. And granted, it's been very similar. He had Patrick Surtain. He tried that. But then they went to the other side, hit a big third down. Max Hollins' big third down catch. You look at the Houston game. We talked about Stingley. RC hit him down the sideline late in that game. There will be a time or two where these opportunistic shots come, and who's going to make the play. And with this defense, you got to be very cautious because they are going to do it.
I'll be interested to see if they single them up often.
Also, too, though, the other thing, they play so much zone, so I don't expect it. And when you look at them, it's going to be who do you take the shot on? If I'm Josh McDaniels, I'm looking at Reek Woolen and Josh Jobe, right? If those are guys I can get in one-on-ones that we think we can run by them in some of these zones.
Create those opportunities. See, I was going to play a lot of split safety, cover 4, cover 6. Get the safety to come down and get those one-on-ones, whether it's like Booty versus Woolen.
Matt Collins.
Yeah. And, you know, it was interesting, too, because obviously their last game against the Texans, you saw these guys that, you know, they're dealing with a really difficult defense. Drake Maye said one of the big emphasis for him was getting in and out of the huddle as quickly as possible. Against a defense like that, you got to communicate well. You got to think that factors in, too, with this Seattle defense. All right, big news today for the Giants.